are here with Chelle here today. Chelle's a client. We're still working together. So this is a video about work in progress and how it all came to be. Chelle is a really, really interesting case because Chelle had already lost an incredible amount of weight before she came to me through the gastric sleeve. But that wasn't all the problem. So Chelle, thank you for doing the video. You tell me, why did you come to see me in the first place? What was the problem? Even though you'd lost the weight, what was the issue?
So, as you've already said, I had a gastric sleeve, and physically I coped with that really, really well. However, when I got to maybe 2 years out, I started to struggle because for 30 years I'd been trying to lose weight, and obviously the sleeve had done all the magic and I'd lost all the weight. And you always go down to your very lowest and come back up a bit. I was massively stuck inside my head. That number on the scales defined me, and that number on the scales dictated on whether I'd have a good day or not. I got stuck in a cycle of if the number had gone too high, I'd punish myself by binging, then I'd attempt purging, then I'd over-exercise, then I'd take laxatives, and then if the scales didn't go down, I'd do it again. There was just like a constant monster in my head, constantly going, oh, is it time to eat? Is it time to eat? I was never physically hungry, never physically hungry. It was always in my head. There was a bar of chocolate. Go on.
Yeah, so I remember when you came to me, you said, I'm worse now psychologically than I ever was when I was bigger.
Absolutely, yeah. It completely lost me in amongst. I was obsessively weighing everything, obsessively counting every calorie. I'd look in the mirror, I could see every rib, every bone, and yet my head was still going, got to lose weight, got to lose weight. And it's really difficult mentally. And yet I did all the NHS training, I did everything that I needed to do. But there just wasn't enough psychological support there. I wasn't ready for what was going to happen to my mind.
Yeah. And then what did you want? What was your dream? You know, what did you hope that would happen when you came to work with me?
I hoped that I would just be able to accept me for me and have a bit of peace. I just wanted the eating monster to go away.
Yeah. And this is really personal, but this is just out from the horse's mouth. I like ladies to tell me, but if you don't mind sharing, it really was costing you a great deal, wasn't it, psychologically? You were binging more than you'd ever done when you were bigger, and you were really bad with your mental health, weren't you?
Absolutely. It was affecting me physically because obviously purging isn't good for you, being sick. I found that I could literally make myself sick on command with a much smaller tummy, and being thinner, I could literally manipulate that to happen, which isn't good. And mentally, I was in a dark, dark place. I was seriously considering committing suicide. I had a plan. I just remember sobbing to you that I just desperately needed help.
So it isn't that people really get hung up on the diet and the food and the scales, but it's more than that, isn't it? It's about the mental health. It's about that eating monster that's absolutely tormenting you 24/7. So do you feel that because there wasn't enough psychological help, is that why you feel you were struggling with the problem? Do you feel like if you got more earlier on, it would have been easier?
So I think they do. They definitely do try and prepare you for it. And I was referred to a psychologist at the time. They basically said, we can continue with psychological support, but there's a waiting list and hold your surgery back. So basically everybody that went in came out going, no, I've refused that.
Yeah, because they don't want to hold it back. Yeah, definitely.
But also, it's worth mentioning, Anna, that suicide rates go up by 5% in bariatric patients.
Wow, that's crazy stats, isn't it? I mean, that is something to consider, because I know a lot of people think, oh, you know, having surgery, it's an easy option, but by God, it isn't an easy option, is it? It's the hardest thing in the world. So it's not an easy option by a long shot. So tell me, what's different now?
So I have more peace now. I have a bit more acceptance now. I'm not constantly watching the clock thinking, can I eat? I can eat in another 30 minutes and counting the 30 minutes down. I'm able to actually relax. I've got no more tension. There's actually a couple of cakes in the fridge right now and I've not touched them.
Very good, very good.
Unheard of before, and I'm not interested in them. And to be honest, the thought of them makes me feel a little sick now.
Yeah, definitely. So the thing is, we're still working together and we've still got stuff to work on. And people often ask me, because the therapies I use work really quickly, but often people come to me with, you know, fear of flying, fear of spiders. And I go, yeah, 20 minutes, one session, let's do it. And it's gone. But the reason why it takes a bit longer with the food is there's usually more than one trigger when it comes to food. So you tell me, how is your life different apart from your massive collection of irregular choice shoes that I envy? How is your life different? You know, time, who you are as a person, your energy, how other people see you. How is that different now?
So I find that I've literally transformed myself. So you mentioned my collection of irregular choice shoes. They've been a reward for every time, you know, when you say you've got to reward yourself when you achieve your goals. So they've been rewards. And I feel that I've reinvented myself. I've got this quirky style now where I'm wearing lots of 1950s style clothes, lots of wriggle dresses, lots of flared skirts. So many compliments at work at how well that I look. Compliments always help, as you know.
They do.
But the biggest thing is just having that peace in my head, like I say, being able to sit and watch the telly without thinking, what can I eat next? And at one point I was so bad that I was like eating and eating and eating until I was physically sick. And with the sleeve, that's not good. You can stretch out the sleeve, and it hurts. It really hurts physically.
Yeah.
Hurts. And yet I was still like cracking in the Nutella straight off the spoon.
Yeah, so this is it. They don't, when it's that automated program in the mind, the eating monster turns into an animal all of his own and just absolutely takes over, you know.
It was all consuming. He lived in my head. He like rented space off me 24/7 for free, and I happily handed it over to him.
So in truth, even though I give nutritional and exercise advice, that's not what you needed from me. You needed the psychological side. You needed the therapies to
100%,
reset and reprogram the mind. So we will continue to work together, but thank you for doing this video for me. And I hope people watching it will be able to see, you know, the information coming from real people about their own experiences, and I'm sure people will be able to resonate with it.